Ladies and gentlemen, hello and good evening, or good morning, depending on where you live. From the MLG studios here in New York City, we are currently live casting some awesome matches here in Season 1 of the WCS Premier League. This is day number 1, so congratulations to you because you are a part of history right now. Season 1 of the Premier League of WCS America 2013. Some special stuff happening here. Right now, we're about to get into our winners match. That's the two players who have been victorious over the first two matches. Of course, before we get into that, quick plug to youtube.com/official MLGSE2. If you happen to, if you stumbled in here late or you're not able to make the matches, I can assure you the 1080p VODs of each match will be available within 24 hours after the match. It's much sooner usually, though.
Within a few hours, I would say.
I like giving some, within a few hours, absolutely. Check out youtube.com/official MLGSE2. Definitely take advantage of that. If you miss the stream, of course, try to be there live because it's fun and it's awesome being there live. You can talk in the chat, you can talk on Twitter, you can talk on Team Liquid, and just talk about the matches live. But again, if you miss it, YouTube is there for you to make sure you don't miss any of the awesome action. Of course, pretty awesome games happening.
That's right. Of course, if we take a look at the scorecard of today, we see that in the first match, what we had Snute taking out Theognis 2-0, so he advances to the winner match, and then STC taking out Vibe 2-1.
Yeah.
So our next match is going to be that winner match, and then of course following it will be the loser match between the two Root Brethren, Vibe and Theognis.
Indeed. Of course, one more after that as well to determine who's going to be the second one to advance. But again, this is a very important match we have in our hands. It's going to be the STC versus Snute. The players are in the lobby, and I am asking if they are ready, and we're going to get started right away. It's going to be on, Belshir Vestige. And as soon as they say they're ready, I'm going to hit the start game button. Of course, Liquid versus Complexity, a bit of a rivalry that is pretty present. Of course, two American-based teams, and they're ready. So, hitting the start game button. STC versus Snute. Who you got?
You know, I don't actually know. I mean,
they both looked very strong.
They did.
In their matches.
The STC would have been the favorite going into this. But, Vibe showed he had some weakness to those early attacks, and we saw Snute really love to use those against Theognis. So, potentially, that's where Snute will find his wins, is using those early roach baiting attacks against STC.
All right, we'll see what happens in this match number 3 of WCS Season 1, Day 1, Group F. Top 2 advance to the round of 16. Bottom 2 will drop to the Challenger League. In the bottom right-hand location, we have the Blue Zerg player hailing from Norway. Representing Team Liquid, he is Snute. His opponent in the top left-hand location, the Korean, on Team Complexity, has a wealth of solid results in major tournaments. Got into this tournament through a qualifier where he performed very well, advancing through the winner's bracket, never dropping a match. Can he continue his success after taking out Vibe 2-1? He is the STC.
Snute's a guy with a lot of fans because he's such like a nice and benevolent human being. Pretty much is the way to say it. But the STC is kind of the same. It's a matchup between two true gentlemen here. I'm curious to see if the STC is going to play the same style he did versus Vibe. Right. Is he going to be using Command Center first a lot? Is he going to be using a very Marauder-heavy composition? Because that's one thing I think that really played to his favor against Vibe. A lot of Terrans really go Super Marine-heavy. But against, the Roach Hydra composition and also even against the Roach Baiting composition, the very Marauder-heavy combination that STC used was very, very effective.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing I liked most about Snute's play, was the Cloud Kingdom game. I thought that was a really cool game where, he went for that aggression and he invested a good amount into it. But his objective there wasn't necessarily to win the game. It wasn't necessarily to take out a ridiculous amount of SCVs. I mean, he's just happy putting on that pressure. Killing a few SCVs is great, but more importantly, I think he was focusing on denying that third base from his opponent, because we saw when he did that push, he took 2 bases immediately, started really accumulating those resources. Meanwhile, able to consistently produce units to deny that third base. So Theognis, he was placed in a pretty awkward situation where he kind of had to take a third or make something happen, or Snute would get out of control. And that's exactly what Snute did. He got out of control. So I would expect Snute to do some sort of 2-base thing in this match. And I think it's going to be up to the STC. How cost efficiently can he defend it, and what does he do from there?
It was really nice to see that attack by Snute, because it wasn't like a brute force muscle timing. It was basically attack timing. He rushed to get roach speed very quickly. Then he used that roach speed to skirmish effectively against the Agnes. He was, he could run in real quick when he had more roaches than there were opposing units, kill a couple of units with volleys. Then he could always escape when Theognis regrouped, and he kept using that speed to really get the micro advantage in those battles. I think it's highly probable he's going to continue to do that. That's a build very popular on the Korean server, going straight for speed roaches and trying to get some very cost-effective trades going on there. But actually,
interesting.
This is a good number of Zerglings.
6 slowlings.
Yeah.
I guess try to run by and sneak into the natural. I mean, the bunker is near the front. It's not in the natural middle line.
I think he might have been hoping the bunker would have been later.
Yeah.
I mean, if that bunker was 10 seconds later.
There's
actually, no.
He's not going to get in the main.
Oh, he is. There's no wall off.
Oh, he just. Oh,
he raised it up.
If he can kill. Oh, my God. He killed that reactor. Snute saying, you know what, I'm going to make some links here. Very wonky timing here from Snute, going straight to that middle line.
Wow.
Gonna get one SCV. No, not getting an SCV kill yet.
I mean, he's done a little bit of mining damage.
Yeah.
But killing the reactor alone, I don't know if it was worth it, but it could have
the
been
Helms
almost.
Are going to be delayed. Scouting information at the very least. Saw the lack of a second gas, so knows it's not like a Hellbat drop or something like that.
I think the real goal was hoping to be in a bunker in the front. Because imagine if there wasn't, he would just kill the 2 Marines, and then he would just wreak havoc amongst the SCVs, right? And that bunker barely got up in time. It was actually really close. So that was a little interesting, unusual timing by Snute. And the reason it's unusual is because if they have the bunker, it's not going to do much damage.
Yeah.
But because it's so unusual, a lot of Tyrants might skip that bunker for a little bit longer, and Snute was hoping to punish a potential greedy move like that.
Pretty cool move there from Snute. Again, showing that he's the type of player who's willing to go for little annoying stuff like that, even if it just delays his opponent a little bit. It's only 6 lings. I mean, you're going to make 2 lings inevitably, maybe 4. You're not delaying too many drones, so I kind of like it there from Snute. If anything, try to pull momentum into your favor, then who knows? Maybe that's a push that ends the game sometimes, as weird as it sounds. But STC going to continue on unperturbed, adding on that 3rd command center, adding on 2 engineering base, but
look at all these speedlings.
Lots of speedlings.
He's actually, if STC doesn't finish that
gap.
Wall.
Is he relying on run bys here?
Oh, there's no wall.
Oh my gosh, can he trap these Hellions? That would be huge. Oh my gosh, I think he will. 1 Hellion goes down, 2. Oh, all 3 Hellions are getting surrounded. Another brilliant play here from Snute, taking down 3 Hellions, the cost of about 6 or 7 lings.
Oh, he's got more coming from the front. If he can hit that bunker from 2 sides, he's pretending he just wants to run by. But look at this, I think he's going to sandwich it.
Coming in, Snute trying to take down the bunker. No SCVs being pulled just yet. And not getting this round on the bunker, going to try to muscle his way by.
I think if he hit from the back at the same time, he could have done a lot of damage taking that bunker out.
Now, these are only lings being sent across the map, so it's not like a lot of Zerg players will, make the 7, 8, 10, 12 roaches, but that cuts into your tech because again, you're just costing gas.
And the roach warren is 100. It's a lot of resources.
Absolutely,
right?
A dead drone too.
Yeah.
And here, exclusively using speedlings to get some harassment done to try to slow his opponent down. And I think another, kind of mission accomplished occurrence there. However, STC is still doing a good job, though. He's got the 1-1 on the way. Stim is halfway done. He's got that 3rd orbital command, so nothing game-ending, but these slow little moves Snute is doing just to try to get himself minor advantage.
They are, and one of the big things is it's not just damage he's doing, but when you kill those early Hellions, that means Snute can delay building additional spines to cover 2nd and 3rd base.
Yep.
It means he can basically drone up. I mean, he's droned up very aggressively because he knows he has in total map control. And that's the key thing about map control. Map control only matters if you can actually do something to take advantage of it. That's what Snute has done this game by droning up more greedily than you could normally do so if there was a threat of Hellions.
Widow Mines now being added on here from the STC, so that's likely going to prevent the Lings from doing too much more damage. However, a lot more being made from Snute. A scan going down here from the STC.
Yeah, spotting the evolution chambers, the baiting nest. So he knows exactly what he's going up against. Upgraded speedlings and baitings. Probably going to be muteless as well. Or it could just be some giant crazy, a mass speeding baiting time. And we have seen players use those.
Yeah, we have. I don't think that's what Snute's going to go for here. adding on Overlord's speed, which is a little bit interesting. 1-1 about to finish here. Baneling speed getting started up, trying to track down those Hellions in the middle of the map. And if we remember the last game, the STC versus Vive, he had Widow Mines all across the map. Most of that game was due to map control. He was able to have momentum from the beginning. Here, it's a little bit of the opposite. Snute is the guy with 1 billion lings on the field. Oh my gosh, that Widow Mine.
500 million now.
Yeah, 500 million indeed.
That was a massive Widow Mine hit. He's going to get a couple SCVs. Oh, those Marines are very brave.
They are. They're going to try to retreat. Hellions going to come by to help save their lives. Are any going to get out alive? It doesn't look like it. Some Widow Mines coming forward here to try to help hold this third base. Snute does not want this going down. Even drop and creep all over that orbital.
He wanted to lift the orbital. Because then...
Yeah, now he can't land.
He can't land. And the orbital had to lift or else the speedings would have taken it down. That's why the STC didn't lift it immediately. It wasn't a mistake. Is that he saw the creep there and he's like, well...
If I lift, I can't land for it.
Yeah, exactly. He was trying to save it. But Snute denying the third. You know, this is a really great play by him, and he actually never got a Spark, so he's going to continue to get 2-2 upgrades, getting Baneling speed, now morphing a ton of Banelings.
Yep.
He's already killed a couple Widow Mines down the field. STC sees this though.
Oh, he sees it.
What can he do?
The Baneling's coming forward. There is a Widow Mine there. You gotta be careful. The Overseer spots everything. A huge hit with the Widow Mines. The Baneling's trying to go right into the natural expansion, and that's not gonna do much. I don't think. No, it's not.
No, that was
STC is going to be happy about that. Resources lost is going to be in his favor. 43, 61 to 30, 86. However, Snute taking a 4th and a 5th. His opponent's 3rd is still denied. Again, we talked about this. Snute loves just getting up in his opponent's face and just being annoying, denying that 3rd base. Not necessarily trying to kill his opponent, but just delaying that economy while setting up a huge economy of his own.
His squad of Marines is going to fall down here. That's not great for STC. Every single unit means so much. You only have 2 bases of economy rolling out. He wants to take his 3rd base. Snute putting creep over it as well.
Yeah, Snute playing this so well. However, Widow Mine's going to get some good shots off. A bunch of Lings going to fall. Actually, some Widow Mine's just unburrowing.
Yeah, you know, that's a trick a lot of Terrans have been trying to utilize recently is they keep some unburied, so if a single speeding comes in or it doesn't detonate.
Right.
But if you don't remember to burrow it at the right time when you see more Zergings, of course, it
can be disastrous.
Yes.
Absolutely. But Ling's still swarming. All these units coming to 3rd. STC having so much trouble. I'm looking for drops going across the map because I feel like you got to do something.
He doesn't
to
have the units
back. Yeah. He needs all his units to help just secure this 3rd. He's having a lot of trouble.
I mean, the situation STC is in now is drops can be great and can do damage, but a drop is almost never going to do enough damage that it's worth delaying your 3rd to do.
Right.
So he wants to get his 3rd up first, wants to solidify that, and then he's going to start a drop play. But it's taken him so long to get it up. Just now starting to set it up. And behind this, you know, it's not like Snute was entire game plan was stop the 3rd base.
Right.
He said, I'm going to delay the 3rd base. And then tech up, so by the time you got 3rd base stabilized, by the time STC can start to put on his own aggression, Snute is going to have infestors, and he's going to be going for Ultralisk, although those probably won't be in time for the first engagement, but definitely the Remax.
STC doing great with upgrades, honestly. 2-2 is done. He has +3 armor on the way, so he hasn't been delayed as far as that's concerned at all. So he's still going to have some muscle in this army. Snute, meanwhile, starting up 3-3, starting up Adrenal Glands. Ultra's Cavern should be incoming momentarily. And he's going to have, both these players have very solid unit combinations.
The Infestors are going to be so key here if he can land a Fungal. Oh, the Widow Mines!
Oh my gosh! Snute kind of ignoring the Widow Mines, just running on top of them. The Fungal's going down though, nailing the Marines and the Medivacs. Snute needs more army in here though to clean that up, but he doesn't have enough. Going to back away. Got some reinforcements coming forward, has those Banelings. If he can get a Fungal and then the Baneling shot, that would be huge. That's exactly what's going to happen. Baneling exploding into the Marines, and Snute cleaning up that army.
I feel Snute just kind of... I mean, the Widow Mines killed so much of his speedings, but the Infestors there were able to stop the army from retreating, stop it from advancing forward until the additional reinforcements from Snute could come into play. Not a super cost-efficient engagement, but remember, Snute's on 5 bases now. He's just, any trade he can do is not too bad for him. He's down a little bit in food, but that's because he's banking up resources for that Ultralisk.
The drop we were talking about before is about to occur.
The Infestors!
Oh, Widow Mine's taking out the Infestor, but the Baneling's getting good shots off onto the Marines. The Ling's coming forward as well. The drop at the 4th or 5th base of Snute is going to be denied. And the STC loses most of his units there. How many Infestors died though?
2. 2 Infestors died. A couple more got bruised. But of course, the bruising will generate A counterattack coming in from Snute. I think STC is more than ready to deal with it. Nice squad of Marines there.
Yeah,
and the Overseer's going down too.
Widowmine's going to burrow and start getting the shots off on those links. So Snute trying to make it happen. I mean, Snute is throwing away a lot of resources. You can see units, gosh.
He's being, yeah, these Widowmines are so
units lost is 13,561 to 7,779. So 13,000 is 8,000 about.
You know, if he keeps doing this, he's gonna throw this game because SAC's actually up by 30 food right now. Snute, okay, there we go. I was waiting for him to produce those Ultralists.
Yeah.
Those Ultralists are really what he needs, but they're not out yet.
Time.
And his 4th base is under a threat here.
Oh, drones coming forward as well. They need to get out of there. Wrong place, wrong time for those folks.
I think he's just gonna sack it.
Bunch of Widowmines being dropped. Are we gonna see? Oh yeah, okay. Let it go.
Yeah, that's the right call. I mean, he still has 4 bases, right? It's not like that was a super essential base. Widowmine harassment trying to... That would have been cute, you know, if it snuck in there. It can definitely be annoying. Oh.
Like 6 Widowmines being dropped there at that 5th base.
There's not many units in the main. Snute doesn't know about this.
Got 2 Queens. Looks like they are starting to retreat, so he does now know about it. But that's a lot of Marines and 1 lone Marauder.
The Ultralist fits the Queens.
Yeah.
The Ultralist rally actually blocked the ramp. Snute's reinforcements were delayed there.
All right, he's eventually going to clean that up. Meanwhile, STC still coming across the map. He is absolutely everywhere, setting up that 4th base. Again, has those Widowmines all across this map, as he did in that last game, retaking map control, it seems, from his opponent. Of course, the completely opposite, to keep it similar to the last game. Bailey's coming forward, trying to get those connections. STC hastily going to be retreating, and more cost-efficient engagements for STC.
His micro was so good. He's always getting the upper hand of the engagements, and now it's on the 4 base. Oh,
here Snute goes with all the Lings and the Banelings, and it looks like this will shut down this push. However, how much damage can these Widowmines do? Not adjusting too much is Snute, and very solid shots indeed from those Widowmines. Going to clean up a large majority of these Lings and Banelings. However, Snute taking that supply advantage for a little bit.
He took out a good chunk of the Medivacs as well, and he's killed the Widowmine force.
Yeah. No, 6 Widowmines.
God, need the reinforcements though.
All right, I think I think both these players are on 3-3. Yes, they are. Banelings finishing up here, coming up into the natural expansion, but Snute immediately going to retreat, or at least try to. Infestors getting taken out by the STC, trying to throw down 2 infested Terrans to keep those infestors alive. Some Banelings rolling forward here. Snute trying to keep them alive, sending forward all those Zerglings. Zerglings versus Marauders. Lings are pretty darn good. Widowmine's trying to get burrowed here, but 2 still have some time to wait before they can explode, set on their explosion. But again, behind this STC, he has his 4th base down. So he's continuing to exceed those resources, increase that economy, so he can continue adding on units. And I don't think he's terribly upset with these trades.
You know, he's actually getting kind of sloppy here. A lot of units being died as they rally out straight into the Zerg army. And this is what's really bad as Terran. The Zerg can get on top of your production facilities one by one. The Marines aren't able to do anything. Yeah. Widowmines, of course, are still picking away at a few of the units, but Snute is just rallying constant reinforcements in. STC needs a moment or 2 to regather his forces.
Yes.
I think he's done here at the top of his main.
If STC has like 30 seconds to really pump up that production, he's on 4 bases. 2 his opponent's 4 bases as well. If he can get those production cycles out, I think he's going to be fine. However, a lot of infestors here.
There's
no,
only
3rd base.
bunker.
Infestors are going to start bumbling these SCVs. It's exactly what Snute needs to try to really cripple his opponent's economy to give himself an advantage. However, the Marines coming forward trying to save their lives. Medevac should probably consider picking those guys up. It's exactly what's going to happen here. Going to pull back, and at the same time, we have a drop here, or a Ling trying to attack a planetary. That's not going to work out. The 3rd base is going to be lifted here, and Snute trying to charge through the natural expansion, trying to end this game. He's up 165 to 114. STC desperately trying to add on more and more units, but these Ultralists playing a huge role. Remember that squadron of Marauders that was killed a little bit earlier? Imagine if they were still here. SCVs trying to attack Ultralists. That's never going to happen, and the SCV is going to get taken out. Snute doing a great job. He's up by about 60 supply, looking to take a win here.
Wow. What a play by Snute here. STC overextended on his units. He had a lot of hurt units with no medevac support.
No.
The speedings around them took them out, and that's what led Snute here pushing in so many reinforcements, constant speedings being rallied across the map.
Oh my gosh, what a game. Fantastic play from Snute. You know, the STC able to get those 4 bases up. As a Terran player, if you can get 4 bases up, you're going to be a happy camper. Then you got to make sure your production stays in line. You don't make too many cost-efficient trades. You deny your Zerg opponents extra bases, and then you're set. But what happened there was STC overextended just a little bit, and there was a time where he just he couldn't get enough units on the field. He might have had the economy to get a lot of units out, but Snute did not give him time. He kept rallying more Lings, rallying more Ultras, and was just pressing down on the STC, and STC could not recover.
That's right. Of course, when the Zerg's on your production, units come out one by one. Terran units don't like to fight that way. They work as a team. One by one, the Zerg just claws them to pieces, and from here it's all over. I mean, once the Zerg's up in your base, it's very difficult for Terran to try to make that comeback.
Absolutely.
Wow, what a great game from both players, though.
Oh, Snute is playing incredibly well. The STC had moments of brilliance there. We both thought, oh gosh, this is getting kind of scary. Like, STC was, I don't know how to phrase it, but he was double his opponent in units lost as far as
the
he
Widow
was being.
Mines.
Yeah, the Widow Mines were ridiculous. But Snute just able to keep on top of his larva injects, properly deflect the drops, and from there he just kept making Zergling, Baneling, Ultralisks, so many Ultras, and he's able to convert to victory in Game 1. So Snute playing like a god here in Day 1 of Season 1 of WCS America. Guys, stay tuned. Game 2 of this best of 3 between Snute and the STC is coming your way.